Right, bring her back. The first reviews are online, so I thought we'd take a look. This is the individual. Basically, it's the same directors that did Talk to Me. So they seem to have a fetish for three-word movie titles, but I quite like Talk to Me. I think it could have gone harder, but all in all, pretty decent film, nice little film, quite enjoyable. And this one looks interesting. It does actually look to follow their formula of sort of like trauma and things like that, and sort of, I don't know, supernatural sort of elements. But it looks interesting. So yeah, the first reviews are online now, and it says effectively it's hailed as the most disturbing, gut-wrenching movies of all time. I mean, we'll obviously judge that, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. So Danny and Michael Philippou's Aussie supernatural shocker Talk to Me went on to earn $92 million worldwide. And it is a decent film. Like, it's worth you guys checking out if you haven't already. I never did a review of it here, but it was a decent film. So it's actually one of A24's third highest grossing movies of all time, which is crazy. So obviously A24 is looking to continue that success with Bring Her Back. And if this is anything to go by, the word of mouth will be strong. So there are obviously a couple of negative leaning sort of reviews, posts, whatever about this. The majority of the critics who were invited to see the movie early are very impressed. This doesn't really mean much though, just as an FYI. Of course, early reviews are always positive. That's just the nature of the beast. But I cover them because I think it's always interesting to document just how much people shill. I'm not saying these people are shilling, but Hollywood ones always shill, yeah. So the synopsis says a brother and a sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. That's it. And it seemingly is about their foster mother trying to bring someone back from the dead. So said brother and sister are played by Billy Barat and Sora Wong, with the great Sally Hawkins playing against type as the foster mother. So other cast members include Jonah Wren Phillips, Sally Ann Upton, Stephen Phillips, and Misha Hayward. It's not exactly like a star-studded cast, right? So there is a full trailer, but it doesn't really show us much. Doesn't show us much at all. Hawkins' characters discovered a young medium who is effectively a conduit to contact and potentially resurrect the spirit of her deceased daughter. That's basically it. This is Hawkins, by the way. So anyway, what's the reviews? Bring Her Back. I need a hug after that. A lot of horror films use grief as a metaphor, but this one says F all that and drowns you in the sad, brutal reality of loss, then somehow turns it into a good time at the movies. Gnarly, cathartic, and beautifully filmed. Again, does seem to follow their formula that they have, these filmmakers. Talk to Me was very much the same. Very much the same. So, this one here, Bring Her Back, is one of the most original horror films I've seen in years. Again, if it's going to be original, it needs to defy their other movie, Talk to Me. The film is heavy, frightening, and just plain bonkers. It's a slow burn, but trust me, there are scenes that will have you squirming in your seat, and you'll leave the theatre uncomfortable. Damn. Another one here. Bring Her Back is a horrifying gut punch. Drenched from head to toe in loss and grief. Interesting supernatural lore. Absolutely top-notch body horror. And excellent performances from its young protagonists. Sally Hawkins is incredible. My next Shape of Water watch will be weird. Because, of course, she was starred in Shape of Water. As the woman that bonked the fish man. If you didn't know. Bring Her Back is, in some ways, your typical indie horror about grief trauma. But it is one of the most disturbingly executed horror films I've seen in years. I don't often get squeamish in movies, but this one got me. Not once, but twice. A massive surprise. I like their sort of imagery that they've got going on. It's cool. Bring Her Back is a terrifying next level follow-up to Talk to Me. Sally Hawkins stuns with her most haunting role yet. Danny and Michael Philippou deliver masterful horror, grief and tragedy. A must watch. Bring Her Back is gnarly, intense and unrelenting. What I wasn't prepared for is how somber the film is. I was sobbing afterwards. Sad times. Bring Her Back is a smart, disturbing and uncomfortable sophomore win for Danny and Michael Philippou. It's effed up art that is as deeply human as it is darkly maleficent. This ode to trauma is the stuff of nightmares. Sally Hawkins is the powerhouse lead of a first-class cast. These are all really positive, to be honest. Bring Her Back finds the Philippous crafting another compelling, eerie atmosphere that's filled with dread and some effective gory moments. Yet, the narrative is built on pedestrian tropes, leaving a shallow emotional depth to explore. Hawkins brings a great tragedy and menace. So that's somewhat negative, to a degree, I guess. Bring Her Back is a disappointing follow-up to Talk to Me. It features the same jolting graphic violence, but none of the terror. The filmmaking is technical and refined. The performances are phenomenal and as violent and as extreme meditation on grief. There's a little bit more there, but it's not really much point. So, interesting. Negative. Unsettling, disturbing, twisted. Bring Her Back is not for the faint of heart. Bring Her Back is an intense experience. Dark and grisly, emotional, wrenching. Yeah, I mean, looking at the trailer, it does look a bit... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one, you know, if you love Talk to Me, this doubles down in every way. You'll need time to process because, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't need time to process Talk to Me. It was just a relatively decent movie, to be honest. I think these sort of explorations of grief and trauma and the human experience can often at times be some of the most compelling narratives that we see on film, especially through the medium or the genre that is horror. I think there's a lot there that you can delve into and explore. I like the sort of Philippous imagery that they have. I like the fact that they're up and coming directors. I said this about Ari Aster though, and I'll say this about these individuals. Don't stay in your lane. Get out of this trope, right? Ari Aster, great filmmaker, did Hereditary, then came back with Midsommar, and it was basically the same bloody movie. It followed the same beats. It's not the same movie, but beat for beat the same, right? He has a sort of hook that he follows and goes for. This seems to be the same, right? Trauma, emotional hit, searching for it, and then probably will end somewhat on a high, I guess. Who knows? Anyway, there you go. Leave your thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.